Hello students. This video is to help explain to you why your grade doesn't go up as fast as you think it will when your teacher adds new assignments to the grade book, and how you can make smarter decisions about your work so that you can meet your goal for your grade. Every year I have students come to me at the end of the semester asking, will this assignment bring my grade from a C to a B, or from a B to an A, or heaven forbid, from an F to a D? Sometimes the answer is yes, sometimes the answer is no, depending on what their grade currently is and how many points I'm planning to add to the grade book before the end of the semester. Of course, you shouldn't wait to the very end of the semester to try to raise your grade, but many students, when they don't do well on their current work, will leave that alone and just plan to do better from now on so that they can raise their grade to what they want it to be. Sometimes this works, but it's much slower and less efficient than you think, and I want to show you why. A lot of the problem that students have is just not understanding how grades work. Grades are percentages. And to visualize this, I want you to picture the grade book for your class as a fish tank, which could be 100% full of water or only partially full of water. This red rectangle represents the fish tank. This represents the total points possible in the grade book right now. The horizontal axis represents points, and you can see that right now there are 200 points in the grade book. The vertical axis represents percent, and of course the maximum you can earn is 100%. So right now there are 200 points possible in the grade book, and you have earned some number of those points. For example, let's say that your current grade in the class is 75%. Here is the 75% line. If your grade is 75%, picture the fish tank being 75% full of water. 75% of 200 points is 150 points, meaning you have earned 150 out of the 200 points possible right now in the class. The blue shaded area represents the 150 points you have earned. The remaining empty space inside the fish tank represents the 50 points that you did not earn. Now, let's say that you waited too long and it's no longer possible to make up any of those 50 points that you did not earn, or that you simply choose not to do so. So you plan to rely on new assignments to raise your grade. And you're in luck, because along comes a new assignment worth 20 points. I have added 20 points to the grade book, and I want you to picture that as enlarging the fish tank. Okay? I have enlarged the fish tank. First thing is, whatever you do, don't take a 0 on this new assignment. Because if you do, this space will all be empty. But your grade is not going to stay at 75%, of course. We're going to knock out this wall, and the water is going to have to spread out over the new enlarged space. So the water level is going to get lower. Actually, it's going to get significantly lower. Let's take a look. Now, instead of earning 150 out of 200 points possible, you have only earned 150 out of 220 points possible. And so your grade has dropped down to 68%. That's an 8% drop in your grade. Quite a hefty chunk. You've gone from having a solid C to a D+. So whatever you do, don't do this. But say you're not that silly. Instead, and I am going to put this wall back up just for reference for right now. Instead, let's say that You plan to do really well in the class from now on, and you are going to try to earn 100% on all new assignments. And let's say you pull it off. We've got this 20-point assignment, and you earn 100% on it. That's like adding new water to the tank. The new water is in green. This represents you earning all 20 out of the 20 new points possible. Congratulations, you earned 20 out of 20. We've enlarged the tank, but we've also added more water to the tank, and the new water is represented in green just so that you can see the contrast. All right, this is going to raise your grade, but again, of course, water does not work like this. It's not going to be stacked. And that's the problem. Because even though you have earned 20 new points, 15 out of those 20 new points have to go just to keeping the grade you already have. And the reason for that is that 15 out of 20 is 75%. Before you can raise your grade, you've got to at least keep the 75% that you already have. So 15 out of those 20 new points that you've earned are going to go just to keeping the grades you have. That leaves only 5 out of the 20 points left to actually raise your grade. And as we said, that is not going to stack like this. This new water is going to have to spread out over the whole 220 points in the gradebook. So let's knock out this wall and spread out that water over the whole width of the fish tank. All right? There we go. That's what it did. It raised your grade, but maybe not by as much as you thought. Remember, only 5 points were left to raise your grade. And now it's not 5 out of 200 points, it's 5 out of 220 total points. And 5 out of 220 is about 2.27%. And so, this new assignment, since you earned 100% on it, will raise your grade 2.27%. And that is good. That is something, right? But you were hoping it would raise your grade to 80%. And you're not even halfway there, right? You have gone up from 75% to 77%, which is progress, but you're going to need a lot more new points in the grade book before you can get to your goal of 80%. How many new points would you actually need? Well, in this case, you would actually need 50 new points. So you'd have to go from 200 points to 250 points, and you would have to earn 100% of those 50 new points in order to get your grade from 70% to 75%. And that's a huge amount, given that there's only 200 points in the grade book right now. You're adding another 50 points and having to earn 100% on all 50 of those points to get your grade 5% up. And chances are, if you're only a C student, you're not going to earn 100% of those new points anyway, so it's going to take even longer to raise your grade, and you may run out of time in the semester. So while this does help your grade, it's a slow process, much slower than most students realize. But there is a faster way to raise your grade. And to see that, we're going to reset the fish tank back to 200 points. All right? So I'm going to take away, for now, that new assignment. And we're going to go back to 200 points in the gradebook, and you have 75%. Now remember, there are 50 points out of that 200 points that you failed to earn for one reason or another. Maybe you did badly on a test, maybe you didn't turn in work, but if you have the opportunity to retake a test, to turn in late work, even if it's for partial credit, and regain some of those 50 points, that's not like putting new water into the tank when you're enlarging the tank. That's like putting new water into the tank and keeping the tank the same size, and it's going to have a lot bigger effect on your grade. So say that you have the opportunity to recover 10 of those points that you failed to earn before. Just 10 of them, but it's something. How much is it? Well, let's think about that. 10 out of 200 points is 5%. So if you earn 10 of those old points that you had failed to earn before, that's going to raise your grade 5%. That new water here is represented in orange. Yeah, it looks radioactive, but I kind of ran out of colors to highlight how important that is. Right? Now, all of a sudden, by just earning 10 old points, you have raised your grade all the way from 75% to 80%, which is your goal. So think about it. You could earn 20 new points to raise your grade 2%, or 10 old points to raise your grade 5%. Which is the better deal? You figure it out. But it gets even better than that. Of course, the new assignment is still going to come around, right? That 20% assignment is still going to come around, ready or not. But now, even if you only earn 80% on that new assignment, you can still maintain the grades you want. So even if you only earn 16 out of 20 points on that new assignment, which would be 80%, you are still maintaining the level that you want, instead of having to earn 100% on it and still not reaching 80%. By doing whatever you can to make up work that you missed or redo work that you did badly on, you can put yourself in a position to have the grade that you want by the end of the semester. And I hope this video has made that visual for you. Thanks.